Now, this weekend is the second anniversary of the opening of C.S. Lewis Square in East Belfast, and there's lots of events going on for all the family. Let's find out by talking to Rachel Kennedy. How are you?
Hello, I'm very well.
Good to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
So, Rachel, it's hard to believe it's been 2 years since C.S. Lewis Square was opened.
Yeah, it's been a really exciting time. So that was my first year working within the partnership, and the energy and the excitement and the build up to the launch of the square was so exciting because it was the culmination of all of the work on the Connswater Community Greenway, with the square kind of being the focal point and the end point to all of that work, and bringing together all of those paths and routes in and around and across East Belfast and opening up that whole area. And since it launched, the visitors numbers have exceeded all expectations. There have been hundreds of thousands of people coming through the square. It's been nominated for awards. It's a very exciting and appealing place to be, and especially around Christmas. So the Christmas tree, of course, will be lit, and it'll be just a lovely gathering space for all of the community around Christmas time.
For people who haven't been, you have to go along to see it because there's lots of great things, Narnia references everywhere you move, and these great sculptures and stuff, isn't there?
So the sculptures are really beautiful by Maurice Harron that kind of surround the square around the outskirts, and most people would know of Aslan, the largest sculpture in the square. You can't really miss him. But then there are some really beautiful smaller sculptures like the Little Robin, which is quite tricky to find, and it's lovely for kids to come along and get the map and try and find all of the sculptures around the square, and then of course kind of hang out in the area and enjoy the cafe and the restaurant, and just kind of enjoy being in that part of Belfast.
So as well as being the second anniversary of the square opening, it's also the 55th anniversary of the death of C.S. Lewis as well. That's it. So how important was C.S. Lewis to East Belfast and to Belfast as a whole? So
he's probably one of the most well-known authors in the world. Many generations of children started reading by getting into the Narnian Chronicles and starting with The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and exploring kind of the world of imagination and literature and reading through those wonderful books. So he's incredibly loved as an author, and of course the fact that he was born and raised in Belfast is it's very important to the local area because it shows that this incredible artistic legacy can come out of East Belfast, and can be so informed by the Northern Irish environment and the beauty of the area of Northern Ireland as a whole, as well as kind of the little touches that entered into the Narnia Chronicles from the East Belfast area itself.
Of course, you guys keep the memory alive because you have the C.S. Lewis Festival every year as well, so that's introducing new people to his work, I suppose, as well, isn't it?
So we had the 6th annual C.S. Lewis Festival this year, just a couple of weeks ago, which was tremendous. We had more than 70 events across East Belfast, and it's a lovely opportunity to get new readers interested in the work of C.S. Lewis. And this year we focused more on the works outside of the Narnia Chronicles. So we looked at the more kind of the Cosmic Trilogy and the Space Trilogy, and looking at different forms of writing, and like moving into magic realism and sci-fi and so on. So there's so much scope whenever you start reading Lewis that is both an inspiration as a reader and as writers. And of course East Belfast is absolutely full of really creative artists and writers of all genres. So it's a lovely opportunity to be able to shine a light on some of that.
And I know this weekend we're going to be looking ahead to some great music performances from some of East Belfast's top performers, aren't we?
Yeah, so it's lovely. There's going to be a big marquee in C.S. Lewis Square, and we've had a big top there before, but this time we'll have this beautiful big heated marquee, which I think has a glass roof and glass side, so you'll be able to be in the marquee and look out at the stars and the Christmas tree and Aslan looking in on us. And we're going to have 2 wonderful music performances. So David C. Clements will be performing on Friday night, and Brian Houston and the Rolling Rhythm Review will be performing on the Sunday night.
So what else have you got planned? I know the Christmas light switch-on's happening on Thursday, isn't it?
Thursday night, which is always an incredibly popular event. So the tree light switch on, there'll be caroling, there'll be loads of stuff going on in the square, and there'll be a big Christmas market both in the marquee and around this kind of the area of the square, and some lovely treats and surprises for families, so it's really worth coming along to. And then on Saturday night we've got a brilliant Narnian themed banquet
Now that jumped out when I read the press release earlier on. This sounds like fun.
Well, now if you're into your food, this is the place to be. And again, it's going to be in the marquee. It's going to be dressed in a lovely kind of Narnian way. So it's going to be a really gorgeous venue to be in. And the food is all being prepared by the incredible chefs at Freight, which is the pop-up restaurant in the container units in C.S. Lewis Square. So Gerard, the head chef of Freight, was he worked in Dublin for 5 years and was the head chef of the National Concert Hall, and then came up here, and it's three brothers and kind of the extended family that run Freight and Gypsy Kitchen, and they do pop-up fine dining experiences with taster menus. And I was chatting to them earlier, and I'm not allowed to give too much away. It's a secret menu, but I do know that there's some involvement of a smoke machine. And that the dessert course will be on a Turkish delight theme.
Oh, lovely.
So,
okay.
And beyond that, it's just going to be a wonderful kind of mixture of different tastes and flavours, and they source everything locally and they use artisan producers.
So if people want to come along to that event, how do they do that?
So it's very easy. Just go online to eastsidearts.net, and all of the events are there on sale, and you can book your tickets.
So Rachel, the very best of luck with the festival, and thank you for coming in and joining us.
Thank you.